Thank you for listening to PoliticalStorm.com. I'm John Small. Today we're going to be visiting with bankruptcy expert Chuck Tatelbaum about the U.S. government pension insurer may be heading to insolvency. That doesn't sound good, but we have Chuck on the line right now. Chuck, hello, sir. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for talking to me.
Yeah, very excited to visit with you. I think we've talked to you in the past, but it wasn't quite this scary last time. The government pension insurer may be heading to insolvency. That's not good, is it?
No, it isn't. And it's one of these things that Congress is kicking the ball around and nobody's doing anything. What it is, what the background is the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation, the PBGC, is just like the FDIC for banks. It guarantees pension funds. And there are two types of pension funds. The single employer fund, which is like you may have at the station or I may have at my law firm, or what are called multi-employer funds, which are usually on union agreements and collective bargaining agreements and multi-employers. What has happened is that the multi-employer pension fund has been so depleted by claims and the opportunity to get premiums has not been increased, that the PBGC itself has predicted that it will be insolvent 50% chance in 10 years, 93% chance in 20 years, and that's without any extraordinary claim. They've already had one.
Wow. So this is not a good situation to be in.
No, and what it is one of these things that's a short-term and a long-term problem, because someone who's 40 or 45 today who's relying on the employer's pension plan paying them, and something happens with the company. I mean, we've seen all these business bankruptcies, especially with someone like Sports Authority or Arab Postal, major retailers. Those employees, when it comes time to collect their money, there's not going to be anything in the fund to pay them.
Yeah. And then what would happen at that point when the insurer, the people that are insuring it, don't have money? Then everybody's kind of in trouble.
Well, it'll be a government bailout to some degree, because the government's not going to do that, just like they bail out banks. And so the bottom line is the taxpayers are going to have to pay for it.
And, it's interesting when we talk about government bailouts, because who's going to bail out the government,
Well, that's exactly what happened back in 2008, where they decided not to close some of the banks or insurance companies because the cost of bailing it out would have been tremendous and it would have depleted the funds.
Again, visiting right now with Chuck Tatelbaum, and he's a bankruptcy expert, and we're talking about the U.S. government pension insurer may be headed to insolvency. Now, during a political year such as this, there certainly is a way to connect the dots from this right into the election, and there's actually one of the candidates, Bernie Sanders, that's very tied to this, isn't he?
Yes, Bernie Sanders has been leading a charge to have Congress amend the law to either allow some of the benefits to be reduced so that it doesn't deplete the funds, or to allow the PBGC to charge a larger premium. And by that I mean the PBGC charges every pension fund $29 an employee a year for this insurance. They need to increase that. And so that's what the Bernie Sanders bill, and it's actually several people from different parties have signed on, but nobody in Congress will do anything.
It kind of makes you upset when you think about that we've got this problem. And part of it is, they're not doing anything, and I wonder if part of that is because they're playing politics right now.
It may be. What it is just the whole thing, what's happening with Puerto Rico and some of the other things. If they can kick the ball down the court until after the election so they don't have to deal with it, then nobody can be held responsible, and they blame everybody else.
Yeah, and that's sadly what I think happens more often than not is it's not about what we're going to get done. It's about what we're going to put off till later so we can blame somebody else.
Exactly.
And that is kind of shocking and kind of scary. So as the average person listening to this program right now is hearing this, and they're hearing that, the government pension insurer may be heading to insolvency, is there anything that we should be concerned about? Is there anything that we should be doing differently? Or is this something that we just kind of sit on the sidelines and watch it happen?
Well, I think if people have connections with their local congressional representative, they ought to express it. They want to hear. And if they realize And this doesn't affect the poor or the rich or the educated or the uneducated. It affects everybody, and especially people who are working under union contracts. And everybody should clamor to take care of this. It's an easy fix.
And this is something that if it's not fixed, it's going to, someday when it happens, it's also going to affect the economy in a major way.
That's right. And hurt a lot of people.
Well, thank you very much for keeping an eye on this, and we're going to continue to touch base, and hopefully next time we talk, we'll be able to say, hey, it's all fixed, and we were able to dodge the bullet and avoid all the problems. Do you anticipate that could be the case?
It could be. I also could win the Powerball, but we'll see.
That's a good point right there. So, well, Chuck, thank you so much for taking some time. If maybe somebody listening would like to know a little more about this or a little more about you, is there a place that they can go to find the information?
Yes, we have a website that has a blog that every week changes with important information like this. It's www.tripp, Tripp, Scott, SCOTT, one word, www.trippscott.com.
Thank you again for your time, sir. I appreciate it tremendously, and we'll look forward to hopefully talking about something more positive next time.
I would love to. Thank you.
All right. Again, right there, Charles Tatelbaum. He's the director of Tripp Scott Law Firm, and he's also the chair of the Bankruptcy and Creditors' Rights Department. If you'd like to check out the blog that he was talking about, it's trippscott.com. Again, TRIPPSCOTT.com. Thank you so much for listening to PoliticalStorm.com. I'm John Small.